Yo, what up, boxing world? Welcome back to Free Blues Boxing. Hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell for unlimited boxing content. We are bike. Breaking news, this is unbelievable. David Benavidez, two-time WBC world champion, in shock. Canelo ducks him and Charlo for a two-fight deal for $100 million. Benavidez has been constantly raving that he wants to fight the best. He wants all the top names, including Canelo, and he basically said it's going to come back around eventually. After Canelo does what he does, he's going to have to come back and they're going to have to negotiate an agreement. Benavidez is an offensive boxing superstar, and the world better look out for him. Also, recently, Canelo Alvarez has agreed to a two-fight deal on dazn to fight Bivol and then Triple G in September. If you guys don't know, Bivol is a light heavyweight champion currently holding the WBA belt. He has recently signed the dotted line to fight Canelo in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, the same arena where Canelo has fought and dominated at. He's dominated Jacobs, Lara there, and both of his previous Triple G fights. Now, sources show that Triple G is currently having issues with his fight. He's trying to fight this guy Murata in Japan this upcoming April. Triple G hasn't agreed to the fight just yet, but I know for a fact he's not going to turn down. That trilogy fight is going to do massive numbers. Sources show that he has to take care of business at 160 for that IBF belt. Triple G is a great fighter. I think he's no longer in his prime. I'm still upset how that, he was able to duck Demetrius Andrade for all these years. He's been inactive. His last fight against Derevyanchenko, everyone believed he lost. There's also Charlo in the mix. PBC, Showtime offer Canelo that two-fight deal for, to fight him and Benavidez for $100 million. The whole boxing world thinks that Canelo is ducking Charlo. I just totally disagree. Charlo, a tremendous fighter, a strong fighter. I think he lacks technique. He makes too many mistakes as it pertains to him fighting a potential fight with Canelo. Canelo will just be too much for him. The fans want to see this fight really bad. I don't really see Charlo being stopped, but I definitely see him getting outboxed for sure. Canelo, obviously the cash cow. He can go to dazn and fight Bivol and Triple G, but he's got to double back and get Benavidez. That's what I want to see. The clips that I've seen of Bivol, he looks rangy. He's got good footwork. He's strong. He's big. I think this guy Bivol could give Canelo a great fight, especially compared to Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders in that aspect. I like that he lets his hands go. He immediately signed the deal, which means he's not fearful of Canelo. And obviously, he's getting compensated greatly. Canelo's the cash cow, so why would you not take that fight? I just feel like before Canelo should go to 175, I feel like he should handle all his 168 business so that, okay, yeah, he's going to fight Bivol and then Triple G this year, but then he'll have to go back down to 68 and get Charlo and Benavidez. I think it's going back and forth too much. It's exciting to finally see these superstar champion 160-pounders, middleweights, in Charlo and Andrade finally going up to 168 where the big dogs are, such as the pound-for-pound star Canelo Alvarez. Because, these guys were calling out Canelo from 160. Canelo's not going to go down to 160, especially fight a great fighter that's at their natural weight and a champion. We understand fighters like Charlo and fighters like Andrade are hungry, but you guys going to have to go up and weight. Canelo is no longer at 54. He's no longer at 60. What was it after Canelo beat Jacobs? He was done with 160. This guy, Canelo's also been flirting with going up several weight classes to fight guys like McAdoo, a cruiserweight. Canelo and his team, Eddie Reynoso, they're just at the point where they could do whatever here on out. And as long as they keep winning and as long as their stock going up, they can go up to a cruiserweight and fight a McAdoo. They can go to any platform. They can sign one-fight, two-fight deals and fight on any platform. Canelo has made a name of himself as, the pound-for-pound number one, the best in the world. Terrence Crawford isn't pound-for-pound number one until he beats Errol Spence Jr. and becomes the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, or he beats a Jamil Charlo Castaño winner. But until then, Canelo has been active. He's wiped out the whole super middleweight division. He's on fire. But yeah, I can't stress this enough. Besides David Benavidez, Demetrius Boo Andrade gives Canelo his toughest test up to date. Is a reason besides Devin Haney, the lightweight WBC champ, Demetrius Andrade, who was the WBC champ at middleweight. Those are the most two-duck fighters I have ever seen since I've been watching boxing. There's a reason why nobody wants to fight Demetrius Andrade. There's a reason why everybody's talking about he needs to fight, this and this and fight the gatekeepers and work his way up to Canelo. Because if he fights Canelo, there's a high chance that, it's going to be an upset. It's a low risk and a low reward. But at the same time, how much bigger of a name is like a Charlo? Benavidez obviously has been growing his name here in the States, but Andrade has definitely been growing his name into a household name. Eddie Hearn has given him all the toughest opposition he could get. He's got the belt, but he's the only champion where the contenders and other champions just won't fight him. Yeah. The boxing room wants to say he's trash and say he's a loudmouth, but what about his game? This man is a killer southpaw. He's huge. He's seasoned. He's been in the game. He's kind of like a Terrence Crawford with, how he, the boxer he's grew into. He's grew into a strong, he's not a strong boxer. He's knocking guys out. Just unbelievable speed, power, great defense, slick. This guy would be Canelo's worst nightmare. There's a reason why in that press conference that Andre invaded, there's a reason why Canelo got super defensive and telling him to get up out of here and saying he's a horrible fighter. Just the context and way he was saying it. We understand that Andrade doesn't have as big of a name as Canelo, but he also he's not that much of a smaller name compared to a Benavidez or especially a Bivol. So, speak on the way he fights. Speak on that Andrade is a champion, and don't just dismiss the man like that. Especially since he has tremendous skills. He's a champion, and it's clear that. Looking at Canelo, you could tell that, Team Canelo, that you guys have seen Andrade and you guys have seen him fight and already formed an opinion on him. Like I said, you can run for as long as you can, but you're going to get to the point where the fans demand the fight. Personally, just like Benavidez says, the whole boxing world wants to see the best fight the best. Bivol is one of the best. He's a champion who is respected. Triple G is no longer out of his prime. I do not want to see the trilogy fight. I think Canelo stops Triple G by round 5. And, that's just the way I feel about it. Put in the comment section how you guys see Canelo's next 2 fights play out. And for more free blues boxing content to support the channel, hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell for unlimited boxing content. Until next time. They don't want that free blue.